First up, we have a fan sent me their broken 3DS XL by the Retro Future. Let's get right into the video.
Hey, my name is Elliot, and welcome to the Retro Future. Today, I'm going to be attempting to repair this, a new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Okay.
It was sent in by a viewer, and it's an absolute nightmare of a job. But I'm always up for a challenge.
You know, this handheld console, was incredible to me. I mean, I still have mine, right? It's charging right next to me. This thing is amazing. I love the new 3DS XL. So this video is exciting for me because to see someone in the past not love their console and let it get a little messed up, and then to see this guy, he does such a good job. He does refurbishments and repairs on a lot of retro handheld consoles and also some like custom or third-party ones. And it's so cool to see him bring new life to these things.
I don't normally do repairs for other people, just FYI, but I'm going to give this one a go.
Okay, let's see it.
I have done this before, and all I remember from it is that it was incredibly stressful. And this one was no different.
All right. I believe in you, Elliot. That's his name, Elliot.
Now the screens are broken, and I can't fix those.
Okay.
I'll have to replace them. They're quite expensive. A very kind viewer donated the money to me.
Oh.
To fix this for the lad, whose name, by the way, was Michael. The lad's name was Michael, not the person who sent me the money. They're going to remain anonymous, but massive thank you to them. That is unbelievably kind.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They also kind of felt touched by the story of Michael's 3DS, and they wanted to send me the money. If you want to watch this PO Box video where I opened this, check that out in the card. And
it's so satisfying to me watching the little tiny screws getting taken out. It's so, I don't know, something about it. I've always loved taking apart things and just seeing what's inside. Ever since I was a little kid, I thought I could figure out how stuff worked just by opening it up and looking at it. And yeah, there's something really satisfying to me about just opening something up like this, something complex, something that I really enjoy or have a lot of fun with.
And you can see for yourself.
Nice. The guitar pick?
We're inside the 3DS. All I've done...
Never thought about using one of those to open up technology. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but that's so weird. I never thought about using a guitar pick.
Done so far is removed a bunch of screws, lifted up the ribbon cables for the shoulder buttons.
Okay.
And now I'm removing everything from the inside.
Nice. Very good, Elliot. Man, my throat is dry. That is so cool. Nice. The multicolored buttons. Just look at those little screws, man. Sweet. I like the music too. It's so like calming, relaxing. It's just such an enjoyable experience. He's just taking it apart perfectly, smoothly, no problems. I bet in reality he probably had some problems, don't you think? But for the video, it looks flawless.
We're going to start by lifting out this joystick, the first thing to remove. One thing I do really like...
That's the joystick. Okay, I thought for a second that was the card reader. My bad. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's the joystick.
About Nintendo's approach to this is that things inside are modular, which means that if you break something, for example, the joystick gets a lot of use and starts drifting,
yes,
you can just replace the whole module. if the cartridge slot gets damaged from a game being put in incorrectly or dust and debris just destroying the inside.
Right.
You can replace that. If the microphone gets
Nice.
clogged up and starts sounding bad, I don't know why that would ever happen, but you could also replace that. And like we're doing in this video,
That's really cool.
you can replace the screens. So that is the motherboard out. Now let's go ahead.
I do like that. Nintendo kind of got it together and decided, okay, we're going to make this console really easy to repair. That's really nice.
And remove the cartridge connector. I really like how this thing connects, that small little flex ribbon cable with the small PCB on the end of it. That is just a beautiful little thing.
Yeah.
And then there's a separate PCB for the D-pad, which really blows my mind. I do not understand why they did that and didn't just put it on the back of the cartridge connector board. It seems quite unnecessary,
Yeah.
but I love Nintendo's over-engineering. It is.
Yeah, just to have the pass-through set up there instead of just putting it onto the main board, the D-pad, like you were saying. That is interesting. I wonder why they did that. But maybe it was, again, just for more modular design or something. Interesting.
Is just so Nintendo. So after we've removed that, we can then pry out the screen. You have to be really careful with this.
Okay.
There's lots of adhesive holding it down, and you're actually pulling up two separate things. You're pulling up the screen
Yes.
and the digitizer. The screen itself has to be removed from the digitizer.
Oh. Yeah, because if the digitizer's still good, I'm sure he could reuse that. So if he's just replacing the screen, yeah, that makes sense. Ew, look at how dirty that is, by the way. Dang. Ugh. I mean, I guess, how long has the new 3DS been out, you know? Like, what? I'm guessing 4 years? 3, 4 years? Maybe more? And so if this system was bought at the very beginning of that, 4 years of nast? 4 years of nasty building up on there. I guess it makes sense, but ugh, dang. I think that was the speaker.
We can then lift up all of these screw covers from the front of the top half, and we can then remove the screws. You have to be really delicate with those little rubber pieces because you can damage them very easily.
Right, right.
The top of the back half then slides upwards and lifts off.
Nice.
Don't pry it up, you'll break all of the little small latches and then it won't close properly ever again. You then need to remove the hinge, which is hidden.
So, remember everybody, the top, this piece, if you try to just rip it off, it will never close the same. So you have to very carefully slide, or I think he did from the back, slide, and then take it off. Interesting. Very interesting.
And underneath the LED tube section, and then slide that little hinge through, which has to be done when the shell is open.
Really?
After
okay.
that, we can then start feeding ribbon cables through.
I wonder if he had to learn all of this by trial and error. I wonder how many new 3DSs never made it back together again. Just a thought I had. Oh, man.
Honestly, it only goes downhill from here.
Do any of you guys take apart old devices just to see what's inside? Am I the only one that likes to do that? It's so fun. It's so fun just to open them up and just see, like, oh, look at the old board. Look at all those little chips. Look at how big the soldering points are, like, especially for the original Game Boy. Look at those huge soldering points. Like, it's fun.
So far, has not been too bad.
Okay.
They are an absolute nightmare to work on. So then we can pry out the top screen and then feed the ribbon cables through that small little hinge. Obviously, this thing has to fold, and it's not done by magic. There are small ribbon cables that are hidden away in that hinge.
Okay.
Which bend round in every which way, and then fold and unfold when you open and close the DS.
Wow.
So there's the two screens removed.
That's crazy.
Then I ordered some more. I also thought I damaged the top camera, so I ordered another one of those as well. And the first thing we're going to do is remove the screen bezel from the top of the old screen.
Nice.
We also then need to lift
Oh,
off
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa.
adhesive and
He used a cool little like suction pad thing to take off that the screen cover or bezel or whatever he said. That was kind of cool.
stick that down on the new screen, which I discovered at this point was not for the new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Ah.
It was for the old one.
Yeah, you can tell it doesn't match. There's like different sizing, different, almost like different colorization or something. I don't know. It does look different though. Like the notching on the top here is not there. Weird, yeah.
It was for the old one.
Oops.
So then a week went by and here's the replacement. We're then going to stick that adhesive down. I then sat the top screen shell piece over the screen.
Okay.
And then put the bezel on so that I knew that was perfectly aligned. I pressed it all down into place, gave it a little breath and a wipe, and there it was.
There it
I then
is.
put the wrong camera module into place, also in the incorrect order. All of these things I learnt my mistakes the hard way from. And then we're
Exactly. Okay, so that kind of answers my earlier question. He's learning by trial and error.
going to set down the small little pieces which go in front of the speaker and connect up the new screen with more ribbon cables.
More?
You know how much I love ribbon cables.
Oh, yes. We
can then
love
bend
those
that
ribbon
over
cables.
And screw this small little board down into place.
Okay.
After that is the worst part of the entire thing. Getting the ribbon cables through that opening.
Ah.
I've made it look quite simple here, but I spent a very long time doing this and said every curse word that I know. You have the
That's exactly what I was saying earlier, right? He makes it look so easy on video, but I'm sure there were problems. And apparently, the ribbon cable through the little hinge, folding it up and trying to push it through just perfectly, apparently that's one of the problems.
feed that small little metal tube over as well, which is like a shield to protect it, and then pull everything through and hope that you haven't damaged it. And at this point, I had the ribbon cables in the wrong order. And I don't show you, but I then have to take it all apart again and do it again. And it was absolutely horrible. The top
That's
half of the
painful,
shell can
man.
then go on, and we can...
Oh man, I've been there. I've done some deconstruction. Thought I laid everything out in an order that I could then put it back together again and would remember. I go to put it back together. I get it to where it should be going together, and it's like not matching up. What the heck? What's going on? And I had to redo it all over again. Yep, I've been there.
finally get to the bottom half. The safe half, as I like to call it.
The safe
Not the
half.
fun half. None of this is fun. But the safe half.
The safe
Less
half.
things
Okay.
can go wrong.
Yes, all those little screws going back into place. This is like one of those so satisfying videos. Nice. Oh, no, no, no. The digitizer's disgusting. Clean it. Oh, that
I'm
bothers
going to
me.
give it all a wipe now
Yes.
because the corners and edges would have had a bunch of built-up grime that we couldn't have accessed when it was in the shell.
Yes.
And we can set down
Thank
the
you.
screen into place, making sure that that home button PCB is in as well. We can then connect up the ribbon cables and start connecting all of the other ribbon cables.
Okay.
And then put some screws into place, and I'm going to stop talking so that you can enjoy this bit.
It's so relaxing. Yes. Just soak in the satisfying nature of this pleasant new 3DS reconstruction. Also, this is really loud. But that's okay, we're just enjoying the journey. Yes. Every screw in its perfect place. The joystick going back to where it belongs. This scratches an itch for me.
Several hours later, I can then put the back of the shell onto the 3DS.
I feel so good.
I'll close it up with the final screws, and honestly at this point, I was just so relieved. This really looked a lot easier than it was. It took me a few days to do it, a few weeks to get the right parts, and many hours to actually complete the job. It was just...
I gotta be honest, I probably wouldn't have done any better, you know? I'm not gonna try and claim that I could do this in half the time or something. It definitely looked like a difficult deconstruction there. So many small parts, like he said. But he did it. Nice work.
A very painful ordeal. I'm really happy with the final result. I hope Michael is too. There is going to be a message that I'll show on the screen at the end that he sent. And that's pretty much it for this video.
Very nice.
To all of the people who've been watching my channel for a while.
See, that was just a relaxing, enjoyable experience. Like, there was nothing wrong there. No stress. No drama, really. It was just kind of a nice journey. A good change of pace.